Saudi Arabia is the fastest growing G20 economy at the moment. There's a lot going for Saudi Arabia. The rest of the world looks pretty bleak. What can you do to mitigate the impact of a potential recession in those other parts of the world?
Thank you, Yousef. It is indeed interesting times. I think the world is facing a lot of challenges, but the world also needs predictability, the world needs stability, and the world needs cooperation. And I can tell you in Saudi Arabia, we have been planning for years, executing with really dynamic execution program, and we are seeing the results. The results are very positive. Unemployment, the lowest in 20 years. Private sector is really booming. Investment is up, I think, about 16% compared to last year. Consumption is very strong. What you need is a plan, focus on execution, and then you need to deal with crisis. You need to make sure that you mitigate early, you are ahead of the curve, you take steps, as we have done over the last couple of years, to ensure that we are protected from these shocks.
In terms of 2023, the IMF thinks you can pull in, 3.6% in terms of GDP growth. I'm wondering whether that matches up with your thinking at the moment from what you're seeing in the data.
I think what we focus on is not the total GDP. In Saudi Arabia, we have the oil GDP and non-oil GDP. Vision 2030 focuses on non-oil GDP, and non-oil GDP this year is growing at 5.9. We believe that next year and the next few years are going to grow with similar number, 5 and north of 5%.
What about interest rates? Those are going up. Liquidity is being drained from different parts of the world. I look at the SIBOR, which is the Saudi interbank rate. Those are at record highs for the 6 month. The spread to LIBOR has gone wider as well. What are you doing to alleviate some of the liquidity crunch in the system?
I think there is a lot of liquidity coming into the system. There is a lot of liquidity coming from the government. There is a lot of liquidity coming from investment. And obviously we have a very strong central bank that is able to deal with liquidity. I don't think we have really an issue. We have a very strong banking system, and we are providing a lot of support to the private sector. Part of Vision 2030 is to enable the private sector, and we wanted to see the private sector grow. We are seeing that in investment. Look at the market. The market is up when a lot of markets around the world are down year to date. Saudi market is up. So there is a lot of things going on for Saudi and for the Saudi economy, and we will continue to support the private sector growth.
Inflation has been under control. I mean, that's a good thing so far. But at the same time, it could go up a little bit in the new year in 2023. What measures are you looking at to take out some of the heat and cost pressures for consumers? Are you looking at maybe revisiting VAT?
What we have done, looking just in the past 24 months, we have done a lot of steps to anticipate this. And we saw what is happening now almost a year before. And we decided to put a ceiling to the energy prices locally so that the economy is not impacted by increase in the energy prices. We have provided support to low-income households, and we really done a great job in making sure that we have a contingency plan when it comes to food. So we stocked more, we built more strategic reserves. We are continuing to do the same. As long as you are ahead of the curve and plan well and execute really dynamically, you will get the results that we are getting. The inflation is below 3%. We don't think it will go even higher than that next year.
One of the things that's being talked about a lot, from what I've been seeing here, is U.S.-Saudi tensions. Now we are waiting for what the U.S. considers a retaliatory move, because what they're seeing is that the Saudis have taken an aggressive step forward with the decision. Of course, you can take the other side of that argument, but for the U.S. it's retaliatory. What would you do if a NOPEC bill got passed, or is that something you're not even considering at this point?
Let me tell you, I think without speculating what the U.S. is going to do, U.S.-Saudi relationship has been very strong for the last 7-8 decades. And we weathered a lot of circumstances and situations in the past that are very difficult. I think there are a lot of strategic partnerships and relationships and interests between the two countries. We are taking steps to make sure that we stabilize the energy market, and we'll continue to do so. I mean, we have been tested for years and decades and when it comes to energy markets. But we are also focusing in our non-oil sectors, and we wanted to make sure that these are predictable, provide stability, create jobs, investment opportunities, and you are seeing it here in this event. FII is the most successful year so far. Investors are believing in the country, they see the results, and we'll continue to push on. I will not really be distracted by the noise.
Closing question on Saudi Aramco. You're on the board of the company. They're pulling in record profits. Is there any visibility on an increase of dividend?
I mean, that is for Aramco board, and Aramco also has a lot of plans to invest. They are investing in their capacity, they are investing in distribution lines, they are investing in gas, they are investing in downstream. I will not speculate what the board is going to decide in terms of dividends, but it's at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see what will happen early next year.